Welcome to Week 5 Prop Shop. I am your host, Bobby Stanley, also known as PropHolliday on Twitter, rocking with the GoldBoys, bringing you my favorite player props for Monday Night Football. Now, we actually have a decent game, unlike last night's, which I'll talk about in a second, but we have the Chiefs and the Saints. I will go through my two favorite player props, and we will go into the touchdown liquor cabinet. But first, I owe you an apology. I was awful last night. My Sunday Night Football show, I went 0-2 in my straights. I had Pat Freiermuth over 3.5 receptions. He landed on 3. That is the hook in this business. I also went with Chris Boswell, kicker for the Steelers, over 6.5 kicking points. He finished with 5. The game was very low scoring. I think I said my pick was Dallas and the under. It ended up being Dallas in the under, but that's not what I give out. I'm not counting that. But this was the first show that I went a clear 0-5 in anything I gave out. None of my touchdown liquor cabinet picks hit. It was the first time in any show I've done where I think not one pick hit. That drove me insane all night. So you get an apology from me to open this show. Now, I have some ideas why that happened. Generally, I didn't really like the game. I didn't feel strongly one way or another. The Freiermuth prop, I really thought I got good value on, plus 105 for a line that he hit in every single game, and I gave you my spiel. I would play that again. The Chris Boswell play, felt like I needed another play, thought it was going to be lower scoring, which it was, which played into the field goals. You know, they were the first and second field goal, but felt a little bit forced on my end. And then from a touchdown liquor cabinet standpoint, it was just too low scoring of a game to have something that clear of a spread. I love CeeDee Lamb. He did not get in. So I apologize for that, guys. But tonight, I actually like this game. And I said yesterday that I like this game. So I'm not just saying that because it's this show. I do genuinely like this game. So let's talk about the Saints heading over to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Chiefs are giving 5.5. The total sits at 42.5, 43.5, depending what book you're on. But it opened at 43. It's down to 42.5. So money is pouring in on the under. Big injuries tonight on both sides. Taysom Hill is out for the New Orleans Saints. Linebacker Pete Werner is out. Kendre Miller is like a third down back. I saw earlier he was doubtful. Willie Gay, former Kansas City Chiefs middle linebacker, turned Saints linebacker. He is out. Center, Cesar Ruiz. My wife's Puerto Rican. I say these things with a bit of a oomph to it. Cesar Ruiz is out. Those are the injuries for the Saints. Kansas City Chiefs, Rashee Rice is obviously out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was doubtful. McCold Hardman was questionable. He was downgraded on Friday and then upgraded on Saturday. I think he'll be available in some capacity, but he's not in any of our plays tonight. Just a couple names I wanted to throw out there. That is the injury report. I was reading a couple fan forums for the Kansas City Chiefs today, I do that. I go to a couple message boards. I like to see where the fans are at because they're more in tune with your beat writers and the team and how they feel it should shake out just because they've watched so much of a sample size. There's a belief that the Chiefs should go very heavy in play action. That will kind of play into their hand with the absence of Rice. They have this stable of running backs now. Kareem Hunt played last week. I think they picked him up 2 or 3 weeks ago. Former Kansas City Chief Kareem Hunt. He looked good last week. We'll talk about him a little bit later. They have the rookie Carson Steele. He fumbled last week. As soon as he fumbled, he got yanked. That's when Kareem Hunt got his shot. And then third down back, Samaje Perine. So they have these stable of running backs that I think Reed feels fairly confident in. Should they go more of an uptick in play action? Over the last 2 seasons, I took a look at this. Mahomes has thrown 6 interceptions. So this season through 4 games and last season, including the playoff, 6 interceptions came in play action. Now he already has 5 interceptions on the year. I think it was like minus 115 for him to throw another pick today. If I look at the kind of the play calling, Saints fairly even in a run pass split. It's like 50, 53, 47, something like that. The Chiefs are not. Chiefs are 60-40 in a run pass split. They are obviously more pass heavy. I do think that comes down a little bit more tonight. A lot of sharp people that I'm cool with. Monotone Football was one guy I think who was on Kareem Hunt's over rush attempts. I saw Prop Bet Guy, another really sharp handicapper. He is over on Kareem rush attempts. Earlier in the week, I gave out to my Discord Kareem Hunt over 40.5 rushing yards. That line is gone, so I didn't feel comfortable giving it out here. I think it's at 47.5. I don't feel great playing it there. If you can get a 43.5, that would be my limit. If not, pivot over to those rush attempts. I do think we see a decent amount of run game from the Chiefs tonight. And then looking at the Saints, they go 2 wide receiver heavy. They don't really bring in a third wide receiver a lot. I do think we see a few more of those tight ends. Taysom Hill being out, Juwan Johnson obviously there, but maybe we see a little bit more Foster Monroe on the end to provide some help chipping and pass blocking. So he's a guy, if you're looking for a long shot touchdown score, he's not a part of my liquor cabinet, but I think he gets a decent amount of snaps. I saw in week 3 against the Eagles, no Taysom Hill, Foster Monroe, 71% of the snaps. So could be a dark horse guy if that's your sort of thing. Alvin Kamara lines are juiced. I went into it thinking I really love his receptions tonight. If you're missing your center, you're playing Chris Jones, now probably the best D tackle in the league since Aaron Donald is gone. If you're missing your center, you're actually missing your backup center because Eric McCoy is out as well. So you're missing Ruiz and you're missing McCoy. And you get that pressure up the middle, you're going to want to dump off quick. So I went to go look for Kamara receptions. They're gone. I think it's juiced to high hell over 5.5. So sometimes these, you just got to let a play go by you. But with that, I want to talk about my first play of the night. It is on the New Orleans Saints side of the ball. Chris Olave, longest reception, over 21.5 yards at minus 120. I got on Bet365 this morning. I've heard it since jumped to 22.5 at like minus 105. I would still play it there. Chiefs play man coverage at an above average rate. If I look at Chris Olave in man coverage, it's donezo for me. I will take him in man coverage in one-on-one. Yes, it's Trent McDuffie. He is one of the better cornerbacks in the league. I still don't view him like I do a Patrick Surtain. It's not McDuffie Island. I do think Olave can win that matchup in man coverage. The Chiefs rank bottom 10 in explosive play rate allowed. 15.6% of the time, they are giving up an explosive play rate in that man coverage. So I love Olave, who I think performs significantly better than Rashid Shaheed against man. I see if I can pull up the stat real quick. I just had it. I hate being that guy that doesn't have his stats ready, but I know exactly where it is. So in 16 routes run against man coverage, small sample size, I know. 16 routes run, 0 receptions for Shaheed in that man coverage versus Olave, 15 routes run, 5 receptions, 46 yards. It's a small sample size, but I'm looking for an edge anywhere I can get. Thanks to PFF for those stats. So Chiefs, not great at defending explosive plays against man, and I got Olave. I don't care that it's McDuffie he's lined up against. Longest reception, over 21.5. Still like it at 22.5. Could tie into the game script. If we see it's at 5 and the line's at 5.5, if this game gets out of hand and you're sitting in prevent, I think, a 14-15 A dot, can Olave break a tackle and pick up the rest of those yards? So I like Olave with an explosive play tonight. That is my first play. But real quick, we'll go to an ad with Bet365. They're my favorite book. I find some of my favorite plays are on Bet365. You can choose your own sign-up bonus. Either you enjoy a safety net on your first bet up to $1,000, or $5 get you $150 in bonus bets. The choice is yours. Head to the link in the description to get started. You must be 21 plus, 18 plus in Kentucky. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. I love the option. I've always given you my hedge parlay idea for these bonus bets or your first bet. By now, you probably passed that, but $5 to get 150 bonus bets, it's not a bad gig either. Sign your wife up, sign your girlfriend up, sign your dad who won't play on his phone, but get them on Bet365. The lines are weak and the options are endless. I feel like they should come to me for a new marketing scheme because that was off the cuff. Let's go into my second play for tonight, and it is on Bet365. Juju Smith-Schuster. We're climbing the ladder. If you remember Allen Lazard in week 1, we climbed that ladder on receptions. We hit his touchdown. We hit 2 touchdowns. I'm getting the same feels tonight for Juju Smith-Schuster. 3+ receptions. Now, I know his over-under's at 1.5. It's like minus 180. I'm not going to give you minus 180. You didn't need me to tell you that. But I'm going 3+ at plus 160 for 1 unit. 4+ receptions at plus 350 for half a unit, and then 5+ receptions at plus 650 for a quarter of a unit. Bring it down as the receptions go up. I'm pulling the trigger on him tonight. I think he should be the wide receiver 1. Let's take a look at why. Justin Watson does not win in man coverage. We talked about the Chiefs man coverage. Saints play an equally high rate of man coverage, top quarter in the league. Justin Watson, more of a soft zone guy. He knows where to pull off his route, stop, and get open. Does not work against man. Let's take him out of the equation. We have no Rashee Rice, and the world is pumping this rookie wide receiver Worthy, the fastest guy in the combine. I have no doubt he can take the top off the defense and take an end around. We saw that in week 1. Since week 1, kind of a goose egg from him. Haven't seen much. I question if he can run a full route tree. I do think Andy Reid's going to try to get him involved in some type of gadget plays, but I'm not relying on that. Let's talk about Travis Kelce. He hasn't been who we've been accustomed to Travis Kelce being. There could be a million reasons why. His fiance girlfriend, I don't know. Taylor Swift's going to be in the building tonight. Can't have a show without saying that. I do think he lacks the athleticism or the gain shape to get open like he used to. And I still think he's being defended the same way he's been defended for the last decade, but he's not getting open like he used to. He's still going to get his targets. He's going to get 8 to 10 targets tonight. Him for over 5.5 receptions. You could probably book that. It's not a play. It's not an angle light attack. But that brings me over to that other gaggle of wide receivers that the Chiefs have. I got Juju, who's getting in the game shape, knows the offense, and can. I from what I've read, he's had success against man coverage. That's Juju. Let's put him to the side. McCole Hardman battling injuries all week. Sky Moore, we just get flashes of. You got the tight end Noah Gray. I already talked about Watson. Of the bunch, I think Juju steps up tonight. If I look at Reed, he's going to trust a Kareem Hunt because he's a vet. He's going to protect the football. He knows where to be. He knows the scheme. He knows the playbook. That's why I think Hunt gets a nod over Carson Steele. But I love Juju Smith-Schuster tonight to be on that edge, be a third down target if Travis Kelce is double covered, triple covered like we've seen. I'm not tinkering with his yards. I like more value on the receptions, just being short yardage, getting upfield. I think we can see 6 to 8 targets for Juju Smith-Schuster tonight. These lines seem off to me. We'll see if I'm right, but I'm climbing the ladder 3 to 5. Not going higher than 5. I'm not wasting my money on 2. 3 to 5 on the Juju Smith-Schuster receptions ladder. And let's go to the touchdown liquor cabinet. Now, normally I have my top shelf, my 1 unit, my mid shelf, my half unit, quarter unit, and then vodka is your pennies and your no sweat bets. I don't have a clear cut top shelf touchdown score for you tonight. And part of it has to do with last night where I gave you CeeDee Lamb and it wasn't a hit. But I'm looking at the lines as of right now. You can get Alvin Kamara at minus 105 on FanDuel. Not bad value. Kareem Hunt plus 130. Okay. And then Kelce plus 140. I was talking with producer Tone. We will not touch any Kelce lines. I want to see it first. It seems a little taboo. Yes, Taylor Swift is in the building. Maybe you take that as meaning something. I don't. At plus 140, though. But then after that, I'm already at my mid shelf. So I don't have a clear-cut top shelf from you. Kelce stands out, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Kamara makes sense. It's probably the best price you're going to get on a Kamara line, but there's a reason that's at minus 105 and not minus 125. We saw touchdown lines this week that reminded me of like week 18 Jonathan Taylor 2 years ago. We're getting minus 200 on Derrick Henry. Kyron Williams at minus 180. Josh Jacobs didn't score a touchdown all year. He was minus 175. If the books are feeling confident putting these lines out, why are we getting Kamara at minus 105? So it smells fishy to me. I'm not forcing it. That's my top shelf. I don't have a top shelf. So hopefully you respect that. But I do have 2 mid shelves that are very exciting. First one, it's my guy Olave. I got him at plus 225 this morning on Bet365. I saw some plus 300s if you were earlier in the week. Obviously, I'm not going to give you something you couldn't get this morning. It doesn't make any sense to give it to you from 3 days ago. But Olave at plus 225. Again, I know it's McDuffie. He is a good cornerback. I don't know if he's a great cornerback, but Olave to me is a great wide receiver. Plus 225, could be playing from behind. I like the explosive play piece here that the Chiefs give up. Give me Olave at plus 225 on a mid shelf. Bring that down to half a unit. My boy Juju Smith-Schuster plus 500 on FanDuel. Gave this out in the Discord earlier today. It was plus 500 as of today. Red zone threat seems a little bit more likely to me. I don't think he's taken anyone deep again. That was always Marquez Valdez-Scantling's role. It wasn't Juju Smith-Schuster, but he is your big body red zone guy. And again, getting into shape at 5-1. That's a quarter of a unit from me. So Juju Smith-Schuster at plus 525 is my second mid shelf since we skipped the top shelf. And let's go down to vodka. And I told you this has Alan Lazard vibes. It's called this part of gut. I want you to put pennies, actual pennies, maybe a quarter, on Juju Smith-Schuster 2+ touchdowns. It's plus 7,000. This game is at 42.5. It's going to be damn hard to hit a 2 touchdown score in it. I do lean with the over. Last night I leaned the under. So for anyone who thinks he's always on overs, Juju 2+ touchdowns at plus 7,000. I gave it out in the Discord. I think it dropped down to like plus 5,000. I know my boy Diabetes got it in, but he said it went down to plus 5,500 after I gave it out to him. I like Juju at 2+. If you get plus 5,000, again, if you have a no sweat bet, if you have a bonus bet, if you have a random amount of change, in your top FanDuel, it's like I got $261.71. Put $1.71 to get a nice round number in there on Juju 2+ touchdowns. But it's an Allen Lazard vibe for me. I think they need a wide receiver to step up outside of Kelsey. And I just don't trust Worthy. I know the whole world's on him. I saw a lot of people, a lot of public bets are on Worthy, the rookie. I don't see that type of route tree from him, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'll roll my dice on Juju, who's been there before. It seems like a gangs back together type thing with Hunt and Juju over in Kansas City. They're in prime time. They want to stay undefeated. They're at home. I don't see them laying an egg. Go with what you know and make this game competitive. If you get it under 5 minutes, the refs are going to be kind to you. Sorry if that's a shot at Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs fans, but it's just what I see. That is your touchdown liquor cabinet. I love the Juju receptions ladder. I love Olave on an explosive play. Over 21.5, 22.5 is okay. Those are my 2 bets on my touchdown liquor cabinet. Thank you guys for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you Thursday night. We have an NFC West matchup. I think it's Seattle, San Fran, which should be a good one. It's always a good one, and those 2 teams actually have offenses. So that one will be a fun one. But I wish you the best of luck tonight, and take care.